how's it going? This is Joe Tell. Today, this is a follow-up video to my Uni-Fi reference video, and we're going to take a deeper dive and looking at the measurements of these speakers, as well as putting them on the speaker leaderboard. But first, message from our show sponsor. The platinum sponsor for the Hi-Fi Summit 2021 Q2 is Kali Audio. Now, I reviewed the Kali Audio IN5s a while back, and I really like those speakers, and I'm actually using them here at my desk, so that should tell you something. This is a very easy sponsorship because I really actually like these speakers. In my review, I rated them very high because they measure very well. They have a concentric design, meaning that you can go off axis, above, below, and it still sounds pretty much the same regardless of where you're sitting. Even though these only have a 5-inch driver, the bass on these is pretty amazing. These are meant for studio monitoring, so they do have built-in amps, and they are very quiet. They have dip switches on the back, depending on where you place the speakers. They also have a new version of the IN8s, the 8-inch version of these, which I would like to check out. So if you're interested in studio monitors that don't break the bank, Kali Audio has you covered. Make sure to check out their seminar at the Hi-Fi Summit and visit their website at kaliaudio.com. All right, so here we are looking at the ELAC UBR62, the Uni-Fi reference bookshelf speaker, and as you can tell here, it's a pretty flat response. So this is an in-room response, and my buddy Aaron from Aaron's Audio Corner has a Klippel near-field scanner, and so he has a more accurate measurement of these speakers. But from what I've seen from the predicted in-room response, my measurements aren't that far off, except for maybe in the treble region, and of course the bass is dependent on where I place them in the room. So I would say from maybe 300 hertz down. This is not extremely accurate, but it'll still give you a good idea how much bass this has. So overall, I am impressed by the way this looks. This looks much flatter than I'm used to from an ELAC Andrew Jones speaker. Just to show you, here's the UB52. So this is the Uni-Fi 2.0, and you can see here the bass, all this looks about the same, except for the treble. It drops down on this and then kind of flattens out. Now, if you look at the original Uni-Fi, I'm gonna go ahead and clear this out for a second. You can see that this is a much different response. Still kind of flattish, a lot of bass, but then above maybe 5 kilohertz, it drops down significantly and it kind of flattens out. But look at the difference here in the treble response between those two. No wonder this one sounds like it has so much more treble, much clearer than the original UB5s. But I do have to say that look at the UB5s, the original ones, there's extra bass extensions. So I don't know what's going on here. I measure them in the same place and I'm just getting way more bass extension on the UB5. And this is what I hear also. I just hear deeper bass from it. Now, whether the other one is cleaner, that's debatable. That's what Andrew Jones says. He says it is cleaner. I prefer this deeper bass. Whether it's cleaner or not, I don't hear distortion on the old speaker. So on the old speaker, I was getting bass, good clean bass, down in the upper 30s, maybe, depending, somewhere around here, versus on the new ones, it's actually, in my room, closer to 50 hertz. And so I'm hearing a lot less bass on the new speaker. When I compare it to the UB52, I also noticed that didn't seem to have as much bass as the old one. Yeah, you can see here that it doesn't look like it has as much bass extension, but it still has a little bit more than this Uni-Fi reference. So really what you're getting here with the new ELAC Uni-Fi reference is a flatter response over here in this region. So again, here's a UB52. You can see, I'm going to clear that out, pretty flat, but then it dips down and then kind of flattens out above here. The original UB5s, a lot of bass extension, and then it drops off here. A lot of people said the speaker sounded a little bit dark, and you can kind of see why. Now, I did measure the floor standards, the UFR52s, and those have 3 5.25-inch drivers. And so just to compare it here with the UBR62, the bookshelf, you can see that it looks pretty similar. So this is just the front part, but this, I will admit that I had a hard time measuring because it's such a big speaker. It's hard to find a particular point. And so I was trying to use the moving mic method to kind of get an average, but I couldn't really get a good measurement on it. So I wouldn't really trust what I'm seeing here. I didn't feel like I was getting as much bass on the floor standards. So I really couldn't get a good measurement. I would like them to send this to Aaron or anybody with a Clipple to see how these measure, but from what I'm seeing here, it doesn't look that similar to the UBR62, the bookshelf, but you know, I could be wrong on this. My measurements could be way off. So basically what I'm saying is I wouldn't trust my measurements, so let's just ignore that for now. I also did a test where I played these loud because on the Uni-Fi 2.0, it looked good, but Amir at Audio Science Review found that around 585 Hertz, you could get a resonance because of something that was happening with the ring. So I did a sweep test at various frequencies at a pretty high level, and I didn't see any issues. I didn't hear any issues. One thing I did notice that I mentioned in the original video is that off-axis response is just very good. When I did my interview with Andrew Jones, he says that he does not optimize for on-axis response. He actually optimizes for somewhere 10 degrees off-axis. So I did notice from my measurements that on-axis kind of wiggly, but a little bit off-axis and it smooths right out. So here we are with the ELAC Uni-Fi reference UBR62 at the speaker leaderboard. Let's see where they place. So best bookshelf. Up on top, I have the Den 85th that I really liked from a while back, the ELAC Navis ARB51, which are powered, the Klipsch the 5s, IN5, the Polk Audio Reserve. So this is tough because this is a little bit, I mean, this is less expensive. I think 700 bucks. So the Wharfdale Diamond 12.1s are even less expensive at half the price, and the Uni-Fi 2.0s are about 600 bucks. So I'm going to place these above the Uni-Fi 2.0, but I'll tell you why I didn't place it above any of these, and it's because these have more bass. I mean, if you know me, I like bass. If a speaker doesn't have bass, it's not really for me. So all of these have significantly more bass output and extension than the UBR62. So I'm gonna skip best for desktop because I don't see anybody really using these for desktop. I wouldn't recommend them. Get some powered speakers if that's what you want, or some smaller speakers. These come in at around $1,000 a pair. So let's see, around $1,000 a pair. I'm gonna place them in the same spot right above the UB52, the Uni-Fi 2.0s, but below the R200s and below these other speakers here. And finally, best overall sound regardless of price. On the top, I still have my Larson 4.2s. Why? Because they're meant to go up against the wall and they have a lot of bass. The Denton 85th, also very good bass. The ARB51s, I also thought they had good bass. And so all of these had significantly more bass. And so I'm gonna place these, let's see here. Yeah, I'm gonna have to put them underneath the Wharfdale Diamonds and above the Uni-Fi 2.0s. Just need more bass. Again, this is my personal taste. The Uni-Fi reference, I would say, performed better than these two off axis, more accurate, but it's just not something that is the most important to me, but it might be different for you. So keep that in mind. So there you have it. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Anyway, if you enjoyed the video, make sure to like, subscribe, ring the bell to be notified when I upload new videos. Take care. Bye-bye.